so that people might share them or print them or keep them for themselves. It's always a good idea to, send some information out there that's useful. For your day to day, when you're taking listings or doing listings, still providing offerings to your clients. They like to know that you're doing stuff. It's going to be harder and harder to get people into the house to either take pictures or to do videos. There are options for virtual tours that don't necessarily use an actual video or a person coming in to do that. People are going to be more germophobic than ever, and that's not going to change for a long time. So you can either hire a videographer and make sure they're clean and doing what they need to do, or you can create videos from your images, which makes an option that they'll need. And videos are good for social media because people are more inclined to watch videos rather than looking at photos. So they just rank better and they work better. So that's a good option. And as much as it pains me, because we are, a big portion of our business is printing, they're not going to be needed for a while, which really sucks. So, you can do digital feature sheets, you can do digital postcards, you can, emails are good, but people still want something personalized. So whether it be a PDF or an interactive feature sheet for the listing, got to get creative, got to get the word out there and show people that you're trying and working and adapting. Social media marketing is a great and cost-effective way of spreading the word, whether it be for a new listing, new offering, or other marketing items that you want to advertise. Cost is quite low, especially if you're doing a targeted area or a targeted niche. You can get really good return on views and exposure for a small fee. So that's something to think about. Instead of mailing postcards to an entire neighborhood, you could hammer them with digital ads or social media ads, which is pretty good. So and fraction of the cost, and a little bit more trackable. So focusing on your online presence is going to be very important. As I mentioned before, people are spending an insane amount of time on their phones, especially their phones, laptops, computers, checking out Facebook for news. They're bored. They want to see some more memes. They want to see what Trump is doing. They're on their phones. Like your website, your social media is going to be another place where the different demographics are going to be checking you out. 9 times out of 10, whenever I meet a new business or a new vendor or even a new client, first thing I do is I check out their Instagram and their Facebook. I want to see what they're up to, see how they do their marketing, see what kind of brand they portray. Make sure that your social media matches your website. Make sure that everything is consistent. Make sure the message is clear. Make sure that people know who you are. And if everything looks professional, people will take you a little bit more seriously. When posting to social media, it's really important that you keep your posts clean. Try to post knowledge instead of fear. I know it's super easy to share, something that somebody on your page posted about how many people have died, or, what really is happening. The government is scamming us or whatever. But, if you're sharing something and people see that you shared it, to them, you said it. So their opinions can change very quickly about who they think you are. And, it can get, some people might be offended, or I know it's, we're in that time now where we got to be very careful. If you want to impress, try not to offend, basically. Something good, that you can post would be, tips, tricks to keeping your kids busy, tips to cleaning, tips to, things that you might be doing on your day-to-day basis that you think that might be helpful, and brand them. Throw your logo, throw your name on them. So if people do share them, your name stays with that. People will remember that instead of, Trump said something stupid again, and we thought it was funny. Be consistent and genuine with your posts. People can see through fake news, as they say, or and it will hinder their response and their impression of you. So I've never personally unfollowed so many people that I have in the last couple of weeks, simply because they keep sharing, conspiracy theories. They keep sharing that they hate this person, or they hate the government, and they hate that, and they hate this. As much as we don't like the government, if we don't like the government, they're our only hope right now. So we got to kind of keep our hope alive, and if we can shed some sort of positive um, positive vibes out there, hopefully that will spread and keep people thinking positive in this negative time. And like I mentioned before, think before you share. That's all I'm saying. Is it's really easy to just click a button and share it, but people are just going to assume that that's your message, even though you're just sharing someone else's message. So be careful with that, and don't exploit the situation. Don't try and use the situation for personal gain. I know none of you probably will, but it's just something that needs to be said to everybody. It's easy to try and capitalize on any situation, but in this time, we just kind of need to stick together and come out on top. So now is a pretty good time to try and maintain relationships. So, whether there's some cost-effective ways to doing this. It's actually the most cost-effective means of marketing. Emails are great. They're the first to go. They're easy. Click a button, put something together. Weekly emails to say hi to your clients, just letting them know that you're still there. Doesn't have a lot of, try and keep it simple, not a lot of info. Nobody's going to really read it. As long as they can kind of see your name pop up, it's letting people know that you're there. You can track them. You can, if you're using like an email program to mass email, you can track them. You can see who's opened it, who hasn't opened it, resend it to people who's opened it. We do that for a lot of people. So it's a good way of getting information out, and try not to do it too often. Otherwise people might unsubscribe, but keeping touch is very important. Calling people is going to become a thing again. Even sending a text message isn't as personal anymore. People are kind of craving that relationship intimacy right now, that they just want to talk to somebody. So I've been trying to call people, 3 to 5 people a day, talk on the phone, just say hi, how's your family, letting them know that we're still here, that we're still alive, and that we're trying to help anybody that needs some help. So that's something that seems to work in a sense of maintaining relationships. Providing useful information to your clients is probably the best bet. Try not to sell too much. Try not to sell too much of yourself. They can see right through that. And a lot of people right now have different things on their mind. So just keeping things. Oh, sorry, one sec here. Keeping things informative and happy is going to work really well. So sincerity always wins. Be honest. Be honest with them. They'll appreciate it, and I think that they'll enjoy the chats and the emails if you can keep it pretty honest with them. Moving on, like, this isn't really marketing, but this is going to actually really impact your personal life, which will impact your business. Do something fun, guys. Like, this isn't all doom and gloom. I have 2 kids, both girls, age 7 and 5. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, so I've always been a little bit jealous because she gets to watch them grow and learn and take them to their events. And meanwhile, I'm at the office working, and I get home, it's dinner time. I kind of feel like a roommate to these kids because they're all been doing stuff all day that I didn't get to enjoy. So, being home, I've realized, my wife's job is super hard. I don't think I could do it. and she's doing an amazing job. But I've been really enjoying playing with them. I try and do one at least one thing with each of them every day. The other day we baked bread, which I've never done before, and that was kind of fun. I might teach my oldest how to play the ukulele soon. I don't know how, so I'm going to learn, and then I'm going to try and teach her. So doing, you know, keeping busy with them, keeping them occupied. They're going to, if I don't know if all of you guys have kids or not, but if you do, the kids are going to remember the good. They're not going to remember the bad. They're not watching the news. They're not watching how bad things are. I don't want them to know that my business is struggling. I don't want them to know that, so I try and keep them remembering the good, and they're going to remember that, dad got to stay home all day and got to play with them. So that's the part I'm looking forward to. I find, actually, it's funny, when I stop thinking is when I get some of my best ideas. So as soon as you stop working, stop stressing, stop doing, and you do something fun, is when I'm been noticing that I get some of my best ideas. And we've been working hard to try and get some awareness out there, try and get our name out there. We have a couple of initiatives. We're working on a donation initiative right now where we're going to raise some money to send some meals out to people who need them. And we've created a coloring contest program that kids can, or parents can download the coloring sheet, and they can win a prize. Just trying to get as much of our name out there and awareness for the situation, and just make everybody smile a little bit more than they are at the moment. So I think that's kind of my tips for today. If you do need help, we can help. I'm not going to sell you too much on what we're doing, but I wanted this to be a little bit more informative. We are having some good deals because I have 4 staff members that I'm keeping on payroll for now, but our business has dropped dramatically. So I'm hoping I can keep them on payroll as long as I can. I'm just trying to keep them busy. So if you guys do need anything, we have some good deals on. If you have a budget you want to stick in, let me know. We will do our best to maintain that. And yeah, I'd like to, if anyone has any questions. That was a pretty quick presentation, but I don't want to drown everybody out and overload everybody. So that's all I got.
Ah, there we go.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Does anybody have any questions for Jonathan? If you do, you can just pipe in. You can just unmute yourself. There's a smaller group today, so actually, Jonathan, I did want to talk. You brought up SEO, the blogging and changing your content on your site. You still find that there's value in that?
There is. Depends on what the value is, or depends on what the content is. But yes, there definitely is for showing up on Google. I mean, if someone's searching Calgary real estate, I hate to break it, you're never going to show up.
Yeah.
But if someone's looking for something specific and you're talking about that specific item, your blog will show up, or your site will show up. So it is beneficial. It does take time, but now is the best time to load your website up with content. Even if you're doing Google ads, your website will rank better for Google ads, and your cost will be down. So if your site is not very good, or overloaded with content that someone else is using, or then even your Google ads might cost more. So it's a good idea to have organic information. And like I said, even just sharing your blog to your social media so that people click on it and go back to your website totally improves your ranking, and will get people to. And you can do other things like for if you want to do remarketing, which is like tagging people that come to your website. It's a good idea to get people. That's a good idea to get people to your website so that they're tagged, and then they'll see your ads.
The one thing about the negativity you were talking about on social media like, there's a few people that I don't, I got to be honest, I keep them on there because they actually, when they post something negative, I always feel the need, like I want to post something positive. So every time I see somebody posting something negative about what's going on, and a lot of times, like, it's just coming from, like, there was one I found, and it was just out there. Somebody posted an article from a tabloid and said, "Wow, look at this," and it was a doctor. It was from a doctor that said anybody over the age of 30 that gets this thing the mortality rate's 100%. Like, there's just so much crap out there that it's not true. And it's every time I see something like that, I always find something real and positive and I post it in the comments. And sometimes
Yeah,
sometimes the people actually delete what I put, but it's just not,
yeah,
it's with social media, it's so easy to feed this stuff right now that it's
everybody tends to believe negative before they believe positive. It's like people are, whenever I go on a vacation, I always look at the reviews of the resort I'm going to, and my wife always gets mad because I'll go to the negative ones, and I just want to see what people didn't. I don't want to see what people liked. I want to see what people didn't like. Right? People are only going to base their, if you go on Amazon, you're going to look for those 1 stars, and you're going to say, "Oh, this guy, what happened that was wrong? What happened that was wrong?" So people thrive on the negative, which it's just the way that we're built, and it's the way that social media has really kind of craft us. Even I notice it in my kids, I notice it in most people, but negativity gets more attention. That's why kids complain so much. That's why kids want, people complain. People, comedians have made negativity funny. So people tend to complain often because they get more attention from it. But now is not the time, and I try on my social media to never share anything negative. I try and keep everything positive. And I don't know if it's working for me, but at least I can go to bed at night knowing that I'm trying to uplift people instead of spreading negativity. So,
Jonathan, I have a question.
yeah.
There's so much social media advertising. I find it really confusing. Best bang for your buck, do you think it's like Facebook, Instagram, Google? What do you think?
Well, it really depends on what you're advertising. So, and who your demographic is. So if your demographic is, 40 and up, Facebook is where you want to be. That's going to change right now because a lot of people are on both because they're super bored. They're going to check both. And that's where a lot of the young guys are sharing is on Facebook. You can't share on Instagram, which is a tough one. So people who want to share the articles and the updates, they're going to Facebook to do it. So right now, anything, but you can, when you do an ad, you can do it on Facebook and Instagram. It crosses over automatically. So it depends what you're advertising. Google is really good for advertising your website. If you want people to go to your website, if you want people to go to your a certain web page, then that's where you want to advertise. It can be, both can be very cost effective. Google for real estate is going to be a little bit more because it bases on industry, whereas Instagram is good, or Facebook and Instagram, because you can set your target age. You can pick what job they work at, how much money they make, what they're talking about, what their interests are. If you want to do just a community, you can do just a community. Like I'm putting out an ad right now, and I just did it basically for realtors. Like, it's just going to target realtors. So, that takes my overall, there's 1 million people in Calgary, over 1 million people. That takes my target audience down to about 4,000 people. So, I'm only advertising to them, and the cost is like a couple dollars a day. It's really not much at all. And you can pick your budget, and you can also, after 3-4 days, if you look at your ad and you say, you know what, this is, I've only spent $8 and 3,000 people have seen it, let's keep it going. Or you can change it. Like, you don't have to commit to a certain amount, which is nice. So Google ads are a little bit more specific and can be very good for, again, specific communities or specific targets. But if you're just advertising for people who want to sell real estate in Calgary, it's going to be tough and it's expensive.
Okay, thank you.
Jonathan, what are you, like you've been in business for what? We 10 years, right?
10 years this year, yeah.
So what are you doing to keep busy? Because I know it's funny actually. Like right now, I'm working more than I did before. I'm literally in front of this computer like 12 or 13 hours a day right now.
Me, myself as well, yes.
So I'm finding that I'm just finding that interesting. I just didn't know if you're just like working really hard a few hours a day and then just taking the rest of the day off, or what your schedule's like.
I'm working way more now on the business, not in the business. So my day used to consist of, meeting with clients, going to meet with vendors, finding new, products to promote, helping my staff. Now my day is, creating coloring sheets for for Facebook for a coloring contest that we're running, designing new ads, coming up with new products. We just launched doing so we're creating the virtual tour videos with photos that you already have, so we can create a virtual tour video with music and intro slides and text, and from photos that you already had. So I teaching myself to do that, and now we can offer that, learning new things. But yeah, I'm sitting in front of my computer way more than I was before. I'm currently redoing my entire website, so that's taking up a lot of my time. But it's all time that I didn't have before. So I've been trying to do my website for the last year, whereas for clients we'll do it in 6 weeks. But it's different when it's for yourself, right? But it's, like I said, definitely a good time to work on your business instead of in your business.
Awesome. Does anybody have anything else for Jonathan? Jonathan, do you have anything else?
Yeah, maybe just like if anyone does have any like thoughts on how this is going to change your business, what you think is going to happen after. Do you think open houses are going to completely go away? I heard in BC they were talking about actually just doing away with open houses even after this is over.
I wonder, I didn't know that they were talking about that, but I wonder, it might just be partly because open houses right now are a pain in BC. Like a realtor's not allowed to sit their own open.
I know,
right?
I know.
So it's probably one of the,
could be, yeah.
It's probably partly to do with the rules that they have in place.
But realistically, we're looking at, if our open houses come back or our thing, we're looking at, the fall at the earliest.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Where before, 5 to 10 people are going to want to go into a house, or someone's going to want 5 to 10 strangers in their house. So it's going to be a while before that comes back. So, we're trying to figure out how, whether it be a cool sign on the front lawn with all the photos on it that kind of has some details so people can come up and see it, or whether it's, an online, web page specifically for that listing that people can scan a QR code. I'm working on, digital business card where, you can just scan a QR code and it opens up your business card. People don't have to touch business cards anymore. That's where I'm trying to adapt a little bit and see the future. So if anyone, has had any thought of where this is going to go, I'd love some thoughts on that. But we're always taking recommendations.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
thanks, guys.
That's it for us. Thanks, Jonathan, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
So just for everybody that's on, we're starting to like finally roll with this a little bit. So next week we've got, we're booked next week with events every day. So we're really trying to keep some of it business and some of it lifestyle. So Monday we've got a nutritionist that's going to come on, talk to everybody about health. Tuesday we have like an energy Reiki person meditation that she's going to do to help, like some tips for meditation. Wednesday we have Jeff Gahane coming to talk. And then Thursday we have Gavin, that was our coach from last week, coming back. And then Friday we have yoga. So you guys check it out and sign up. If there's anything that you guys want to see, any type of workshop you want, let me know. And then I'll try to get it on. So any feedback, because we're just starting this, would be awesome. You can just text me or email me. But if anybody has nothing else, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome, Jonathan.
Thank you.